What's going on, guys? I'm your coach to the Portland Trail Blazikens, bringing you week 2 of the IBL Mono Generation season. We're going up against Ryan, coach of the Emerald City Espeons, who has Generation 5. And so Gen 5 is without a doubt the best generation as far as one generation is concerned, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I'm saying gen a lot. But you've got the likes of Tornadus Therian, Lando T, Kieran Black, which actually he has 2 of those mons. And then Thunderous, the amount of power that can come off Gen 5 is obscene. Even Hydreigon, Haxorus, stuff like that, it's obscene. And so going into this battle, I was having the mentality that if I lose, it's fine, because this is definitely going to be the hardest competition matchup-wise, or just looking strictly at a team. It's going to be the best. That doesn't mean the player, because I could definitely face a team that has a worse pool to select from, but that is still a phenomenal player, then I can lose to him. So it wasn't that mentality, but for me, it's just that matchup-wise, it doesn't work well, and so I'm okay if I lose. Obviously, I'd prefer to win, but if I lose, not the end of the world. But Ryan has Tornadus T, Reuniclus, Whimsicott, Golert, Crustle, Simipour, Kieran Black, Garbodor, and Scrafty. So Kieran Black, I pretty much have no switch-ins for. Tornadus T is just a fantastic pivot, though it is slower than Weavile. Whimsicott can just be annoying, plus it's faster than Garchomp. And then Reuniclus can double dance, but I have a really good dark type, so ideally it wouldn't Calm Mind and Iron Defense recover Psychic because I have Weavile. But we'll see. And so then on the left is still my team in general, but we'll just look at the my builds. First, we've got defensive Mesprit with Stealth Rocks, U-Turn, Psychic, and Knockoff. Pretty much just a Rock Setter and then a Pivot. I don't know. I don't know exactly why I have a defensive. I guess Crustle, but I don't think I'd be able to take an X-Scissor. And I guess maybe for physical Kyurem. Either way, I just didn't have a physical wall, so I went with Mesprit. Next, I have an offensive Garchomp with Poison Jab, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Outrage. I outspeed Kieran Black. Outrage is spammable because he doesn't have a Steel type. And if he switches into Whimsicott on the Outrage, it just ends my Outrage and I can switch out freely. However, if he lets Garchomp kill something with Outrage, he can then go in with Whimsicott, and I'll just have to crash into it and then take a Moonblast. But with the Roselli Berry, I actually take it super well and then I switch out. And so it gives me the mentality that my Outrages are free, and so I don't mind that very much. Next, we have Togekiss, Joy Scarf, just can do Air Slash spam because he doesn't have Steel type, and his Rock type is also Bug, so nothing resists Air Slash, and then Dazzling Gleam if I want more damage on Kieran Black, really. Besides that, Defog and Baton Pass for Pivot. This also outspeeds Timid Crustle at +2. Then we have Weavile with Knockoff, Icicle Crash, Low Kick, and Punishment. Punishment's obviously for the Reuniclus in case he's boosted. But again, I don't think he can have Iron Defense, but then the Punishment just lets it absolutely clap the Reuniclus. And in case I knock off the Reuniclus at some point with Mesprit, I just wanted another move for it. Low Kick for Kieran Black, Knockoff spam is always just a thing, and then Icicle Crash is for damage. And then I have Monferno with Flame Wheel, Low Kick, Slack Off, and Toxic being max but def. This is actually my Kieran Black answer. It's the only one on my team. It takes less than half from any Kieran Black move. And so, it's not really a good answer, but it's a thing. So, it's kind of what I have to deal with. Low Kick 2-shots it. Flame Wheel thaws me in case I take an Ice Beam. So, that's pretty much the Monferno. And then I just Toxic something. And if he goes Reuniclus, I have to go hard like Weavile. And then last but certainly not least, I have the Barrel with Swords Dance, Endure, Return Aqua Jet, Simple, with a Salac Berry. So the Endure is to help me pop that Salac Berry. Others on max attack Adamant. With Rocks Up, I can one-shot his whole team. And Aqua Jet's for any of those Pokemon that I don't outspeed, plus it's just damage. Because like Golurk, or not outspeed, like Golurk is Ghost, so I needed Water Stab. And I thought I might as well use Aqua Jet, so I still have priority in general for like maybe Torn if I'm not Salac boosted. But yeah, so that's the team. And so then we go right to the matchup, where he brings Torn, Rainiclus, Whimsicott, Kieran Black, Crustle, and Simipour. Pretty much the exact team I expected. Maybe not Simipour, just because there's one speed slower. Oh, excuse me, I did yawn this time. Dark. But because Garchomp is one speed point faster than Simipour, I figured he wouldn't bring it. So, based on this, he was like certainly going to lead. I guess he has a couple potential leads. You could do Tornadus on the U-turn, Whimsicott on the U-turn, Kyurem if he wants to try and break something immediately, or more likely, Crustle. And so I thought I could just lead Mesprit because I can get my rocks up. I take any of those like aforementioned or the previously mentioned mons. Mesprit still handles just fine, and so I decided I was going to lead Mesprit, get rocks up, maybe turn out, and figure out my next move. And so he does lead Crustle, as expected, and I lead Mesprit. I go for the knockoff first because I think it's just in case he was going to switch or Shell Smash. I wanted to just knock him off because if I Shell Smash or if I knock him off, and get like if it was White Herb, then if he were to go Shell Smash, he'd be able to get I think one shot by the Togekiss. So I wanted to put him in range for that. And he just goes up for rocks, so now I know it's free for me to get up my own rocks. And then he goes X Scissor, takes about half. I just U-turn out, bring him down to 70, go into Garchomp, which can do massive damage to him. He just goes for Spikes, and then here I decide to go for my free Outrages, as he goes for another lay of Spikes, and then he goes out into Whimsicott, who again, so this was, like I was saying, now I'm free to click any move because I outraged into a fairy already. So I'm not confused, and I'm not locked into outrage, so I'm like, okay, I can click Poison Jab now. Now keep in mind, he does have 2 layers of Spikes and Rocks Up. I also have Rocks Up. But so now I'm like, okay, I can Poison Jab. He shows Lefty, so he's not Specs. And he Encores me, which doesn't really do much. That's just a burn of a turn that he gets his health back. So I know it's Lefty's Prankster Encore for sure. And now since I am Encored, I know I do have to switch. And so I just decide to sack off the Mesprit. Because I don't particularly need it, even though I might be defogging and I'd like the Rocks Up. However, I decide maybe I should just be the one putting pressure down now, because I've got my win con up with rocks, and all I have to do is get Barrel in. Now, it does make it a little bit tougher because he has Whimsicott, so if he goes hard in to Whims on like my SD, he can just Encore trap me, and then I'm in rough shape there. But yeah, so going to Weavile, I know he's not Berry of any sort, so I just decided to go for an Icicle Crash, which doesn't really matter because he sacks it off, and then he goes into Simipour, which I now know is Scarfed. And since he's Scarfed, we've got Whimsicott, which outspeeds Garchomp, Tornadus, which outspeeds Garchomp, and then Simipour, which outspeeds Garchomp, plus Rainiclus, which probably can like live any hit from Garchomp. So Chomp isn't that useful to me this game, and so I'm just going to sack it off to Simipour, getting hit by 2 Surfs. Next up, this is the point like of the game where I was like, enough of this. If I can get an SD up, I can like run through the whole team. Oh, that was also modest Simipour damage, so I knew that my Barbarial would outspeed him because I am adamant. If I was timid, I'd always outspeed Simipour. So that I think that's why he didn't do a speed creep on it. Though he probably could have speed crept max attack or max speed adamant Barrel. But either way, he's modest, so I'm good to go there. Essentially, as long as he doesn't go Whimsicott on this turn, I can win. And so take a bunch of damage. And also, Simipour couldn't kill me because I also knew his choice. So I get an SD up. I'm up to +4. I outspeed Rainiclus and knock it out with Return. And so this puts me in a really good spot. But not out of the woods yet. So if I clicked on or endure on him attacking me, it wouldn't matter because I'd pop Salac, but then he'd be able to encore me. And since I don't have quick attack, if I would have had quick attack, I would have been fine. As long as he like popped my Salac, but I just didn't want to be encore trapped. And so as well as unless he had energy ball, he couldn't kill me. Moonblast would bring me into Salac. At this point, I figured based on his team composition, sure, like Torn could have had U-turn, but it might have even been, I don't know why it would be, but it could have been AV. But Wims looks like Encore Moonblast. He likes U-turn normally, even though I think he didn't show. But probably U-turn, and then maybe, well, and then he told me that he was HP Fire, or Fighting, which I guess might have been. Did he actually prep for Probo Pass? Who knows? But that'd be fantastic if he did. So I knew that as long as he's not using a grass type move, I'd go down. And so yeah, I can click return. I'll eat the Moonblast, I'll pop the Salac. I'm now +3 attack, +2 speed, and that's pretty much game. Because I outspeed Modest Simipour. And unless he's Rocky Helmet Tornadus, which you would have shown earlier, which dies. And then Kieran Black, since I'm adamant with the rocks up, he guarantee dies. And so that's the game. I knew that if I put the pedal to the metal now, that it doesn't matter that there's the rocks and the spikes up, because Barbarial can just clean. And then after whatever Barbarial would have done, I then would have been able to go out into Togekiss, get a defog off, and then I still have Weavile left to do a lot of damage. So that's the game. It definitely would have been a lot more interesting had Ryan went into Wims hard on the Barbarial and then encored me. But we'll never know. I only excuse me. I should stop that. So the only reason I did click return on the Whimsicott is because he showed Encore against my Garchomp earlier. So that was actually really nice for me that happened. But yeah, either way, good game to Ryan. That brings us up to 2-0. I think 6 differential. Looking pretty good, especially because this is a 5-week league. So putting myself into a decent situation moving forward. My next couple weeks are going against, let's see, Somersets, which is Will. I forgot what I think he's Gen 1. And then England Ampharos, which is Gen 7. That's going to be a hard matchup because the Tapus and stuff. And then against Sky, who is Gen 3. He's been complaining that he has such a bad team, but he's also 2-0. So he's, always a good player. But either way, 3 more weeks and then ideally playoffs, and then we'll be starting the next Gen 8 of IBL for its Season 5. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, keep your eyes out for next week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.